ultimately, it's the family issue for me. It's always having family and always sharing the kind of family aspect of it. Because, you know, I grew up in a children's home where you had 25 lockers and there's 25 different kinds of music in each one of those lockers. So for me, I've always tried to have the same value as far as a label's concerned. You know, Metalheadz, as far as I'm concerned, is a melting pot of ideals.
They were influential in definitely shaping drum and bass as, you know, one of the many different guises it has now. And they're important in my upbringing within the music as well, because they had a regular night they used to do, a club called Blue Note, just quite a well-known venue in London. And every Sunday, the craziest beats used to come out of that place.
That was mad. That was a mad time. Very, very punk, very electric. Groove Rider used to play there. It was the start of really dark drum and bass, the whole dark drum and bass movement with Ed Rush and them guys. That started at Blue Note.
I very much did hierarchy lineups when it came to Blue Note. So Chemistry and Storm for Metalheadz were the warm-up for quite a long time, because we had other DJs who were our peers who needed to be part of that. You know, that was who were playing this stuff. Dr. Scott, Randall, Groove Rider, Fabio, they were above us, you know what I mean? Pesce, Lee, all these kind of people who were first there.
You know, if someone was playing at Blue Note, there's been no doubt they'd be phoning you up the day before. Have you got any tunes? You know, everyone wanted to be, you know, everyone wanted to represent there. That was the place.
The main thing that's excited me about drum and bass is the next thing. I've gone here, DJs play music that the tracks have just been made literally in the same couple of days, you know, and just the latest thing, and it's just like, I want to be blinded by science, basically, and that's at the time, that's what it was doing, you know. It was like, wow. That was possibly drum and bass's most exciting moment, I would say, you know, just period. That club was just like ridiculous.
Everyone's happy about going to like a big rave and whatever, that's cool, but this Blue Note was a nice, small club. They took a sound system called Eskimo Noise in there. It used to absolutely smash the club up, and the vibe in there was amazing. And I think, you know, there's queues outside, 100 people outside queuing all night, and that was a vibe, you know what I mean? You know, everyone wanted to play there because it is so fabulous, and you know, I think that was a big major factor in the vibe of the scene. The guy who ran the sound system as well kind of knew drum and bass and grew up listening to it as well. He knew sonically what it was about. You know, there was other sound systems going. Obviously back then it was a big part of the UK culture with Shaka and Saxon sound, and so it kind of, in a way, it grew up out of that whole sound system vibe anyway, so it was a natural thing.
The time we brought Metalheadz up to Manchester and they brought their sound guys up, it was just like, what, this is perfect. It's ridiculous, and I don't think they'd even had the sound on like 40%. It's like we could turn it a hell of a lot louder if you want to, and you could hear it down the street. It was ridiculous, you know what I mean? It was so loud, but it was just crystal clear, you know.
When I was living outside London in about '95, I used to come down religiously every Sunday to go to Metalheadz. And that's, I suppose, that period, 94 to 97, when there was everything from Ragga Jungle right through to the Metalheadz type stuff, and it all existed. Didn't necessarily get played in the same clubs, but you could buy it all and you could mix it all. And that was kind of exciting for me, because it was the first time I'd experienced a kind of music which potentially integrated every single kind of music I'd ever heard on one kind of speed or one kind of set of rhythms.
For me, when I started writing my music, I listened to like this music that had ridiculous amounts of energy. You know, you look at the kind of some of the breaks they were using in Jungle, and you used to go down Metalheadz and listen to what they were tearing out down there. So for me, when I got to that point it was about slowing things down, not build-ups. It was about stripping it down.
You know, those Blue Note nights were very inspiring, and I went back home to Holland, and I was like, you know, I want to do a night like this. You know, create this sort of similar vibe, and so that's what we did.